Chapter 501 Zhu Yang, do you dare to give me a big wave? Xingtian. What's going on? At this time, the eldest lady also looked at Zhu Xingtian, who was gradually getting excited and asked. Although Zhu Yang is becoming more and more unreliable. He has even learned to squander money now. But, his squandering has brought me some long-lost happiness. Hearing the eldest lady's question, Zhu Xingtian did not answer, but smiled and said what he was thinking at the moment. Soon. Zhu Xingtian stood in the center of dozens of space cracks, then looked at the 9 ladies and said with a proud face, 9 ladies, you will watch it next, these space cracks will fall out of a unicorn black pig egg, and I will never let any unicorn black pig egg fall to the ground. As Zhu Xingtian's voice fell, half a body-high giant eggs squeezed out from the space cracks. Swish. 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 Zhu Xingtian turned into a series of afterimages at this time and began to catch all the giant eggs that fell. Not only that, because there were 9 ladies here this time, his body movements were more graceful, and his movements of catching eggs were getting more and more handsome. Huh. The same space crack actually has a second, third, and fourth giant egg. This is making things more difficult for me. When Zhu Xingtian discovered this, he got excited again. Isn't it just catching an egg? What's so exciting about this? It seems that Xingtian is busy practicing and dealing with the affairs of the sect all day long, and he is really bored. The eldest lady, who was watching Zhu Xingtian's operation, expressed her thoughts at this time. Big sister. Not necessarily. I can only say that we women really don't understand men's happiness. At this time, the second lady also expressed her thoughts. Chirping. Soon, the 9 ladies gathered together to argue about this matter. Finally, all of them have been taken over. Looking at the dozens of space cracks that gradually disappeared, Zhu Xingtian also looked at the 9 ladies with a proud face. However, when Zhu Xingtian found that the 9 ladies were gathered together and arguing about something, and no one cared about his situation at all, his face also showed a touch of embarrassment. Huh? Again? There are always dozens of them, is it interesting? Zhu Yang, you stinky boy, dare you give me a big wave? Although he did not attract the attention of the 9 ladies, Zhu Xingtian still enjoyed the happiness brought by this little game. What's going on? Aren't there too many space cracks this time? I mean a big wave, but a few hundred will do. These space cracks are starting to overlap. When Zhu Xingtian found that the number of space cracks that appeared this time was far beyond his imagination, his face finally changed. This was no longer a question of whether he could take them all, but whether he could collect all the giant eggs that appeared into the fairy ring in the first place. Otherwise, the sect hall would be occupied by countless giant eggs. On the other side. Finally, they were all thrown over. I didn't expect that being a spendthrift is not only a physical job, but also a blood-consuming job. At this time, Zhu Yang, who was a little pale, also slumped on the ground and muttered weakly. However, Uncle Feng is really working hard to get young Master Ye's hard work fee. Looking at Uncle Feng, who was unconscious due to anemia, Zhu Yang also showed a touch of admiration. Xiao Zhu. While Uncle Feng is unconscious, I just want to ask you something. Do you want to have countless fairy stones and fairy crystals? Do you want to enjoy the joy of being a spendthrift every day? At this moment, Yi Feng came over, then looked at Zhu Yang and asked directly. Countless fairy stones and fairy crystals? Enjoy the joy of squandering money every day? Hearing Yi Feng's words, Zhu Yang was stunned at first, and then thought to himself, if there are really countless fairy stones and fairy crystals, then I can eat whatever I want every day and brag as much as I want. Thinking of this, Zhu Yang looked at Yi Feng and said seriously, Young Master Yi, I want it. Since you want it, then I will give you this opportunity. But you need to be careful, there is only one chance. And you need to be 100% loyal to me, and you will be a loser in the future. After saying that, Yifeng put his right hand on Zhu Yang's head. A moment later. The loser sect. As long as it is within the reasonable range of losing, you can use countless fairy stones and fairy crystals. Too scary. When Zhu Yang got the recognition of the system and learned everything about the loser sect, he looked at the loser seal in his hand with shock and muttered to himself. Isn't he standing up? This time, I want to see if my father dares to say anything to me again. After recovering from his shock, Zhu Yang was already impatient to go back to the jinxing sect to show off. Okay. You will return to the sect with 100,000 hidden immortal scrolls in a while. As long as your father participates in the hide-and-seek game and catches someone, I will give him a golden-horned black pig egg. When the time comes, just tell me a number, and I will send someone to deliver the golden-horned black pig egg to you. At this time, Yifeng also spoke to Zhu Yang. Master, are you not going back to the sect with me? Hearing Yifeng's words, Zhu Yang also asked with a puzzled look on his face. I won't go back with you. Next, I have to find 2 more suitable prodigal disciples. After saying that, Yifeng stood on the back of the 8-winged golden-eyed mad lion, flew directly, and soon disappeared from Zhu Yang's sight. If it weren't for my greed, I would have quietly left the sect and came here. How could I have met Master Yi? If I hadn't met Master Yi, I would have really missed this great fortune. However, as a prodigal disciple, I also have my own mission, and I will definitely not be able to take over the sect in the future. It seems that after returning, I have to ask my father to hurry up and give birth to another one. Looking at Yifeng who was leaving, Zhu Yang also showed a trace of relief, and then activated a designated space portal again, carrying Uncle Feng who was unconscious due to anemia on the ground and walked in. Jinxing Sect, Sect Hall. More than 1 million unicorn black pig eggs. Who is the mysterious young master mentioned by Zhu Yang? When Zhu Jingtian and his 9 wives finally put more than 1 million unicorn black pig eggs into the fairy ring, he also muttered to himself with a solemn expression. He didn't believe that his son could do such a big thing. Father. I'm back. At this moment, as a space crack appeared in the hall again, Zhu Yang's voice was the first to come out from it. Chapter 502 Father, stop hitting me, I am the god of wealth of the sect. Hey! Why are mother and 8 stepmothers here? Besides, they all look very tired. When Zhu Yang came out of the space crack carrying Uncle Feng, he discovered this situation immediately. Wait. At this moment, Zhu Yang suddenly thought of something, then looked at Zhu Jingtian and exclaimed, Father, are you doing this? Nonsense. If not here, where else? You little bastard, you just threw more than 1 million unicorn black pig eggs at once, that scene is simply a headache. Now I feel that any round thing I see looks like an egg, and I have the urge to put it in the fairy ring. Hearing Zhu Yang's words, Zhu Jingtian also said angrily. Fuck. They are tired of collecting eggs. Fortunately, Father didn't understand what I just said. Hearing Zhu Jingtian's words, Zhu Yang was also very grateful and thought to himself. At this moment, when Zhu Yang found himself being pinned to the ground by his mother and 8 stepmothers, a look of bewilderment appeared on his face. He looked directly at the eldest lady and shouted, Mother, what are you doing? What? You made so many eggs to scare us, and you made us tired to death. Of course, let your father teach you a lesson. After the first lady finished speaking, she looked directly at Zhu Jingtian and shouted, Jingtian, don't hit him too hard, just hit him 1,000 times just for show. What? Hit him 1,000 times just for show? Then my 2 big pieces of meat will be beaten into minced meat. Hearing his mother's words, Zhu Yang panicked. He is now a prodigal disciple, and he will be the god of wealth of the sect in the future. This hardship should not be borne by him. Xiaobazi. Stop first, let's go to Jinxing sect now. After flying for a while, Yifeng suddenly said this to the eight-winged golden-eyed crazy lion. Young Master Yi, are we going to continue looking for other suitable prodigal disciples? After hearing this, the eight-winged golden-eyed crazy lion also asked with a puzzled look. That's right. But there's no rush. Let's each use a hidden immortal scroll, and then quietly go to Jinxing sect. After all, how can I miss such a fun game of hide-and-seek? After hearing what the eight-winged golden-eyed crazy lion said, Yifeng also smiled and expressed his thoughts. Fuck. Can it be played like this? After the eight-winged golden-eyed crazy lion knew Yifeng's thoughts, a look of surprise appeared on his face, and when it saw the one-armed swordsman coming out of the torn space, it trembled all over. Jinxing sect, sect hall. Stop fighting. Father, stop fighting. I am the god of wealth of the sect. Whether our Jinxing sect can develop into a dominant force in the future depends on my mood. You can't treat me like this. At this time, Zhu Yang, who was lying on the ground and enduring countless stick shadows, also shouted loudly with a collapsed expression. Boasting again. When can you change your bad habit of bragging? You are still the god of wealth of the sect. Our Jinxing sect has a solid foundation. What's missing from your little tricks? Hearing Zhu Yang's boasting, Zhu Jingtian was so angry that he swung the long stick in his hand again. Crazy! At this time, Zhu Yang was going crazy and shouted loudly, I'm really not bragging this time. You have to believe me. Zhu Yang. Enough. Why did I give birth to a useless son like you who likes to brag? It's no wonder your father wants to have another child. Hearing Zhu Yang's roar, the eldest lady on the side couldn't listen anymore and started to curse. I haven't mentioned this yet, and you're planning to have a baby? Although you're definitely going to have a baby, it's so painful to hear it now. Zhu Yang's mentality completely collapsed after hearing his mother's words. Master Yi. Zhu Yang is such a miserable kid. The eight-winged golden-eyed mad lion, who had already arrived here and used the hidden immortal scroll, looked at Zhu Yang being beaten with a stick, and said to Yifeng with a smile on his face. Yes. Too miserable. Too brutal. But it's not others' fault, Zhu Yang likes to brag all the time. Hearing the words of the eight-winged golden-eyed mad lion, Yifeng also said with a smile, and at the same time, he recalled the story of the wolf in his previous life. Although one was a lie and the other was a brag, the situation was similar. When you brag too much, even if you are telling the truth, others will think you are bragging. Little 8. Go over and tell Zhu Yang with your spiritual sense, then take away the immortal ring with the hidden immortal scroll from him, and then go and use the 100,000 hidden immortal scrolls on the many disciples and elders of the Jinxing sect, so as to save time later. At this time, Yifeng suddenly thought of something and spoke directly to the eight-winged golden-eyed mad lion beside him. On the other side. Hit me. Scold me. Hit me is love, scold me is love, I will just take it. But, when I show the strength of a prodigal disciple later, you will definitely look at me with new eyes. At this time, Zhu Yang had completely given up. Anyway, he had been beaten like this since he was a child, so this beating was not a big deal. Zhu Yang. I will take the immortal ring with the hidden immortal scroll first. Young Master Yi said, I will use the hidden immortal scroll on the many disciples and elders of your Jinxing sect first, so as not to waste time later. At this moment, the voice of the eight-winged golden-eyed crazy lion suddenly rang out from Zhu Yang's mind. The voice of Master Xiaoba? Young Master Yi is here too? So, young Master Yi said he would not come back with me before, but just shook me, and then came quietly? After hearing the words of the eight-winged golden-eyed crazy lion, Zhu Yang was completely stunned. When he realized that the space ring in his arms was taken away, he felt extremely ashamed when he thought that he was being watched by his own sect master in such an embarrassing state. He then shouted directly, Father, don't hit me. The mysterious young master I mentioned before is watching me now. Please save some face for me. Madam. Did you hear that? It's okay that this stinky boy is greedy, boastful, and spendthrift, but now he has learned to lie. 1,000 sticks are really not enough. Hearing Zhu Yang's words, Zhu Jingtian was so angry that he trembled all over, and then he spoke directly to the madam beside him. Jingtian. It's the father's fault if the son is not well educated. But there is another saying, that is, a loving mother often spoils her son. I used to spoil Younger too much. You take a rest first, and I will take the remaining 1,000 sticks. After hearing Zhu Jingtian's words, the madam was so angry that she rolled up her sleeves and snatched the long stick from the other party. No way. What are you doing? I'm telling the truth. How come it's a mixed doubles match all of a sudden? Seeing his mother holding a long stick and walking behind him, Zhu Yang's mentality completely collapsed. He thought to himself, I'm afraid I'm the worst among the prodigal disciples. Chapter 503, Let me give up my status as a chores and go to watch the gate for you? Fuck. Is this a mixed doubles match in another world? Yi Feng, who was watching the excitement, saw this scene and showed a touch of shock on his face. He didn't expect that he could see such a familiar scene in this fantasy world. Forget it. I'd better go out for a walk. When Yi Feng saw Zhu Jingtian find another long stick from somewhere and then walked directly towards Zhu Yang, he turned around and left the sect hall directly. A moment later. Can that old man in the errand robe see me? When Yi Feng walked to the outer sect disciple area of the sect, he suddenly noticed that an old errand man who was sweeping the floor glanced at him inadvertently, which surprised him a little. You know, he is now blessed with the power of the hidden immortal scroll. Even the peak of the 9th level of the immortal calamity realm may not be able to see him. System. Use the opportunity of peeping into the secrets of heaven and check the situation of that errand old man. With curiosity, Yi Feng spoke directly to the system. Ding. Consume an opportunity to spy on the secrets of heaven. The old servant died a year ago and was later taken over by an ancient strongman. The other party has a terrifying soul that is far stronger than the 8-winged golden-eyed mad lion. He is currently staying in the Jinxing sect and is only recovering his strength. Another ancient strongman? After hearing what the system said, Yi Feng also revealed a touch of surprise, and then continued to ask, System, then why didn't he leave the Jinxing sect, but instead worked as a chores here for a year? With his terrifying soul, he should be invincible in the upper realm. Ding. Remind the host, this Feng Feng is different from the old demon ancestor he met before. His soul has completely merged with this body. Although he can reach an extremely terrifying level in terms of cultivation and comprehension, his true strength is based on his physical body, so he has been recovering his strength in a low-key manner. Ding. Even the old demon ancestor is the same. If the other party is no longer a weapon spirit, whether it is to recast the physical body or borrow a body to be reborn, it is necessary to start all over again. If they encounter danger, once they use too much soul power, it will cause great damage to their physical body. Hearing Yi Feng's inquiry, the system also explained again. So that's it. It seems that it is not an easy thing for these ancient strongmen to rise again. After listening to the system's explanation, Yi Feng also muttered to himself thoughtfully. It's over, it's over. I think I've been discovered. Damn it, why did I look at him twice? Fang Feng's eyes showed a trace of panic when he found that the young man with the power of the hidden immortal scroll was walking towards him with a smile. Fang Feng. When he came to the old man, Yi Feng also called out the other party's name directly. Stare. When he heard the other party say his name, Fang Feng also looked at Yi Feng with his eyes wide open, his eyes full of disbelief. Who is he? How did he know my name? Panic. Fang Feng was really panicking at this time. If his strength had not just recovered to the first level of the heavenly immortal realm, he would have run away by now. Don't be nervous. I won't do anything to you. Do you want to find a quiet place to chat? Finding that there were outer disciples passing by from time to time around, Yifeng also said with a smile. Huh. Hearing Yifeng's words, Fang Feng also breathed a sigh of relief, and then said respectfully, Sir, I will listen to you. After a moment. Fang Feng. Anyway, you are just an errand boy here. Do you want to come back to the Holy Land with me? I will arrange a job for you to guard the gate. But don't worry, when you go to my place, the cultivation resources you can receive every month will definitely be countless times more than here. After arriving at a deserted place, Yifeng also asked out loud. Yifeng had his own ideas for doing this. Since he could meet two ancient masters, he might meet more in the future. Therefore, he planned to bring all the ancient masters or ancient fairy beasts he met to the Holy Land as gatekeepers. In this way, even if he ascended to the divine realm in the future, no force would dare to provoke the Star Soul Holy Land. Let me give up my status as a servant here and go back to the so-called Holy Land with you to be a gatekeeper? Hearing Yifeng's question, Fang Feng also smiled bitterly. He never thought that he had been sleeping for hundreds of thousands of years, and finally woke up and occupied a body to be reborn, but he ended up living such a miserable life. This, sir. If I refuse, what will be the consequences? After thinking for a moment, Fang Feng also looked at Yifeng and asked, tentatively. No consequences. But I will have someone knock you out, put you in a sack and carry you back to the Holy Land. Yifeng smiled and answered Fang Feng's words. Clang. 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 As soon as Yifeng finished speaking, a sound of iron hitting stone suddenly rang out from the side. When Fang Feng turned around, he found that a strong man was walking towards him with a smirk on his face, and the sound was the sound of an iron rod in his right hand hitting a stone in his left hand. Wait. This breath, you are the ancient fairy beast 8-winged golden-eyed wild lion. At this moment, when Fang Feng sensed the familiar aura on the other party, he exclaimed with his eyes wide open. Ancient soul cultivator. Interesting. When the 8-winged golden-eyed mad lion came to Fang Feng, he sensed the terrifying aura of the other party's soul that he had just released, and a flash of surprise flashed in his eyes. Then he looked at the other party with a playful look and said. Sir. Is this the ancient fairy beast 8-winged golden-eyed mad lion? Is it a guardian fairy beast in your holy land? At this time, Fang Feng also looked at Yifeng and asked, curiously. Guardian fairy beast? Thank you so much, you really think highly of me. But it's a pity that I'm just a little pet guarding the house in the Holy Land where young Master Yi is. Before Yifeng could answer, the 8-winged golden-eyed mad lion on the side answered for Yifeng. The ancient fairy beast with no loss of strength was just a gatekeeper? Hearing the words of the 8-winged golden-eyed mad lion, Fang Feng also revealed a touch of surprise. He did not expect that the other party's strength was at its peak, but he was just a gatekeeper. Chapter 504 Damn. The entire sex people really disappeared. Sir. You can take a fancy to me, and let me guard the gate for you. This is simply my blessing. So, I am willing. Although he didn't know who Yifeng was, Fang Feng had subdued the peak 8-winged golden-eyed mad lion, so he made the most correct decision from the bottom of his heart. Very good. I'll take you to see the leader of the Venus sect in a while, and then take you back to the Holy Land. Hearing Fang Feng's words, Yifeng laughed and said out loud, and at the same time thought to himself, Elder Yugue has stood up this time. In the future, he will lead countless ancient strongmen and ancient fairy beasts to guard the gate. This is definitely the peak of his life. Little 8. Have all the hidden fairy scrolls been used up? At this time, Yifeng also looked at the 8-winged golden-eyed mad lion and asked aloud. Young Master Yi. You can't use them all. The outer disciples, inner disciples, core disciples, deacons, elders, etc. of the Jingxing sect only add up to more than 30,000 people. Now there are more than 60,000 hidden immortal scrolls left. Hearing Yifeng's question, the eight-winged golden-eyed mad lion also hurriedly explained. You can't use them all? Are you stupid? You have been following me for so long, and you don't even know how to lose money? If you can't use them all, then you can use a few more on each person. Hearing what the eight-winged golden-eyed mad lion said, Yi Feng was also very speechless. Young Master Yi. I understand, I will do it right away. After hearing what Yi Feng said, the eight-winged golden-eyed mad lion also reacted suddenly, and then ran away in a panic. What are you doing? What are you doing? The 100,000 hidden immortal scrolls you mentioned, can't they all be these top-level hidden immortal scrolls? Fang Feng on the side was completely dumbfounded at this time. You know, he's an ancient soul cultivator, and his soul is extremely terrifying. That's why he can see through this top-level hidden immortal scroll. If it were an ordinary ancient immortal, he would not be able to see through the power of this hidden immortal scroll at all. It can be said that this top-level hidden immortal scroll is an extremely precious good thing in his eyes. Young Master Yi. Can I know why you use this top-level hidden immortal scroll on the people of this sect? At this time, Fang Feng also looked at Yi Feng with curiosity and asked. Play. Hide and seek. Hide all the people in the sect, and then let the sect leader find them. What an interesting little game. Hearing Fang Feng's question, Yi Feng also explained with a smile. What? To play, you waste this level of hidden immortal scroll? Isn't this a waste? After hearing what Yi Feng said, Fang Feng also exclaimed with his eyes wide open. Have you heard of the golden-horned black pig egg? Seeing Fang Feng's big reaction, Yi Feng also looked at him and asked. Of course I've heard of it. Young Master Yi, I'm not bragging. I had the honor of eating this golden-horned black pig egg twice in the ancient times. The taste is really indescribable. Although he didn't know why Yi Feng asked such a question, Fang Feng still answered truthfully. Golden-horned black pig eggs had already become food in the ancient times? Is this very beast so miserable? Hearing Fang Feng's words, Yi Feng was also shocked. He now seemed to understand why this golden-horned black pig degenerated into a one-horned black pig after hundreds of thousands of years. It didn't even have the chance to break out of the shell. It would be unforgivable if it didn't degenerate. Fang Feng. Would you like to join this game of finding people? As long as you find one person, I will give you a golden-horned black pig egg. Yi Feng took out a golden-horned black pig egg from the system space and placed it in front of Fang Feng, and then continued, I have a lot of this stuff, don't worry that I can't afford it. That's right. You just said, what's the problem with me wasting this kind of rubbish immortal scroll, just for fun? Seeing Fang Feng looking at the golden-horned black pig egg in front of him with green eyes, Yi Feng also asked with a playful look. Is there a problem? What's the problem? This hidden immortal scroll should be used like this. Only by using it like this, can the greatest value of this hidden immortal scroll be reflected. Hearing Yi Feng's question, Fang Feng also said his thoughts at this time with a serious face. The main hall of the sect. Zhu Yang. All the hidden immortal scrolls have been used up. You can ask your father to start looking for someone. Just after Zhu Yang experienced the mixed doubles, the voice of the eight-winged golden-eyed mad lion also rang out from his mind. Master Xiaoba. If you were faster, I wouldn't have to endure this mixed doubles that I shouldn't have to endure. After hearing the words of the eight-winged golden-eyed mad lion, Zhu Yang also said with a wry smile. Still pretending. There is no one here, who are you talking to? Seeing Zhu Yang lying on the ground and talking to the air, Zhu Jingtian also scolded him angrily. Hey! Father, there is no point in explaining any more. You should go out and take a look. Now, all the disciples and elders of the entire sect have been blessed with the power of the hidden immortal scroll, and they have all become invisible. Hearing Zhu Jingtian's reprimand, Zhu Yang also explained calmly. Hearing Zhu Yang's words, Zhu Jingtian also frowned slightly, and then did not say anything, but walked directly out of the hall. A moment later. Fuck. It's really gone. Everyone in the entire sect is gone. Soon, Zhu Jingtian's exclamation sounded from outside the hall. Who are you? When Zhu Jingtian returned to the hall, he saw Yi Feng and the eight-winged golden-eyed mad lion who had released the power of the hidden immortal scroll, and then asked with a serious look. Father. This is Master Yi, he is the mysterious master I mentioned. Because I have 100,000 top-level hidden immortal scrolls, I thought it would be useless to keep them, so I used them all on the many disciples and elders of our sect. At this point, Zhu Yang also revealed a serious look and looked at Zhu Jingtian and continued, Father, this has become a small game. You need to catch all the hidden disciples and elders. As long as you catch one person, then. Before Zhu Yang could tell the reward behind, Zhu Jingtian shouted excitedly, this small game is interesting. Are the many disciples and elders of the sect hidden now? Can I catch them now? Hearing this, looking at the excited Zhu Jingtian, Yi Feng, Zhu Yang and the eight-winged golden-eyed lion were stunned. This was not what they thought. They did not expect that before they even mentioned the reward, the other party could not wait to start catching people. Chapter 505 I am just a little playful, but he is not happy? Father. You agreed to participate in this little game without any benefits? After recovering from his shock, Zhu Yang asked Zhu Jingtian anxiously. Although he is already a prodigal disciple, the golden-horned black pig egg is a good thing that cannot be bought with money. If he misses this opportunity, he does not know when he can get it next time. Benefits? What benefits do you want? For tens of thousands of years, I have either been practicing or dealing with sect affairs. Now I have finally encountered such an interesting game. What benefits do I need? Don't even mention giving me benefits. As long as I can participate in this game, I will give you benefits. Hearing Zhu Yang's question, Zhu Jingtian expressed his thoughts very seriously. For fun, you don't want the benefits that are given for free? Do you know what benefits you can get by finding someone? Crazy. Zhu Yang was really going crazy at this moment. He had never thought that his father, who was so majestic in his mind, actually had such a mischievous heart. He even wanted to shout at Zhu Jingtian, you are so old, why are you so playful? Zhu Yang. Since your father wants to participate in this little game of finding people, let's not say anything more. At this time, Yi Feng also looked at Zhu Yang with a playful look and said. Young Master Yi. I know. Hearing Yi Feng's words, Zhu Yang also responded with a wry smile, and at the same time thought in his heart, I finally got a wave of benefits for my father, who would have thought that he would not want it. It's really an iron sect, but the sect leader can't be helped. What kind of eyes does this stinky boy look at me with? All day long, he only knows how to eat, brag, spend money, lie, etc. He has so many bad habits, but I didn't say anything to him. Now I just have a little bit of playfulness, and he is not happy. Seeing that Zhu Yang always looked at him with a strange look, Zhu Jingtian also complained in his heart. Sect Master Zhu. In order to make this game more interesting, I have set a rule with all the disciples and elders of your sect. That is, I will give different amounts of top-grade fairy crystals to the last 100 people who persist to the end, and the more you catch them, the richer the reward. So, this game will definitely be fun for you. At this time, Yi Feng suddenly thought of something and looked at Zhu Jingtian to remind him. Hearing this, Zhu Jingtian's eyes lit up, because in this way, everyone will try their best to avoid his capture, and the whole game will become more interesting. And when he catches everyone, he will also have a great sense of accomplishment. Young Master Yi. Then can I go out and catch them now? Zhu Jingtian looked at Yi Feng with a little excitement and asked. Master Zhu. You can go out and catch people anytime now. By the way, besides you, there is also a servant from your sect who will also participate in this little game of catching people. You two can catch people together. At this time, Yi Feng suddenly thought of Fang Feng, and then looked at Zhu Jingtian and reminded him with a smile. Ha ha ha. Young Master Yi, you are still good at playing. Giving me another competitor, and a servant from the sect, can arouse my strong desire to win, so that I can devote myself to this little game. It's great, it's really great. Don't worry, I will never lose to a servant. After saying that, Zhu Jingtian laughed and left the sect hall. What am I going to play? I asked Fang Feng to join this little game, not for this purpose. Hearing Zhu Jingtian's words, Yi Feng was stunned at first, then shook his head and smiled bitterly. He didn't expect that after a period of peace, he would encounter such a weirdo again. Zhu Yang. Are you, your mother, and the 8 stepmothers interested in this little game? If you are interested, I will give you a golden-horned black pig egg if you catch one person. How do you feel? Seeing Zhu Yang standing listlessly aside, Yi Feng also asked with a smile. What? Young Master Yi, can we also participate? Hearing Yi Feng's words, Zhu Yang was stunned at first, and then asked excitedly. Of course. After all, my golden-horned black pig eggs have been prepared for a long time, but I didn't expect that your father didn't want them. It would be a waste to keep them, so it's better to reward them to you. Hearing Zhu Yang's question, Yi Feng also gave a positive answer. Mother. 8 stepmothers. We've made it this time, hurry up and follow me to catch people. After hearing Yi Feng's words, Zhu Yang also excitedly shouted to the 9 ladies not far away. Young Master Yi. You still know how to play. Fang Feng will get a pig egg reward if he catches someone. Zhu Yang and the 9 ladies will get a pig egg reward if they catch someone, but the Zhu sect master will not get a pig egg reward if he catches someone. I really can't imagine what kind of expression he will show when he sees that everyone has received a reward except him after the game is over. Seeing Zhu Yang rushing out of the hall with the 9 ladies, the 8-winged golden-eyed crazy lion on the side also said with admiration. No. Xiaobazi, you are wrong. Although they will all get rewards, the Zhu sect master gets the purest happiness. Hearing what the 8-winged golden-eyed crazy lion said, Yi Feng also started talking nonsense again in a serious manner. Okay, it's getting late. Let's rest first. I'm afraid they may not be able to catch everyone tonight. After saying that, Yi Feng took out a large amount of top-grade fairy crystals from the system space, and quickly built a fairy crystal bed, then took out a comfortable and soft quilt, and lay down to rest. 2 hours later. Excited heart, trembling hands. 1 kid is captured. It should be said, these people are really good at hiding. At this time, Zhu Jingtian, who had been busy for 2 hours to capture more than 500 people, also laughed and talked to himself. Sect Master. How many have you captured? Just then, Fang Feng, who was wearing a servant robe, happened to meet Zhu Jingtian, and then asked, curiously. Ha ha ha. Not many, just more than 500 people. Seeing the servant robe Fang Feng was wearing, Zhu Jingtian knew that the other party was his competitor, but he did not hide the number of people he had captured, but said it with a proud face. What? More than 500 people have been captured. Master, you have made a fortune this time. After learning the number of people Zhu Jingtian had captured, Fang Feng also said with envy. You know, although he participated in this small game, Yi Feng did not allow him to use his powerful soul to capture those who were hiding. Chapter 506. Others have rewards, but I don't? What do you mean I made a fortune? Catch someone and enjoy the happiness brought by the small game. Is this also called making a fortune? Hearing Fang Feng's words, Zhu Jingtian also revealed a look of confusion. By the way, how many people did you catch? Although he didn't quite understand what the other party meant, Zhu Jingtian still asked, curiously. Hey! Don't mention it. I've been busy for 2 hours, and I've only captured more than 800 people. Fang Feng said with some dissatisfaction after hearing Zhu Jingtian's question. What? You said you've captured more than 800 people? However, Zhu Jingtian's eyes widened when he heard this, and he exclaimed in surprise. He thought that he had captured more than 500 people, which was already very good. Who would have thought that the other party had already captured more than 800 people? Jingtian. What are you doing here? At this moment, the eldest lady happened to pass by here. Seeing Zhu Jingtian and Fang Feng, who was wearing a servant robe, standing together and talking about something, she also came over and asked, curiously. Madam, why are you here? Seeing the eldest lady appearing here, Zhu Jingtian also asked with a puzzled look on his face. Catching people. Young Master Yi asked Zhu Yang and our 9 ladies to participate in this little game. Don't say it, it's quite fun. Okay, I won't chat with you anymore. It took me so long to catch 1,000 people. I have to continue catching them. After saying that, the eldest lady turned and walked away, and soon disappeared from the sight of Zhu Jingtian and Fang Feng. What are you doing? What are you doing? This is my happiness. Why are you catching so happily? It's ridiculous that I caught more than 500 people and I'm still complacent here. Who would have thought that I was the worst one? Thinking of this, Zhu Jingtian turned around and ran away. He was going to start catching people like crazy. He couldn't let so many people beat him. Early the next morning. It feels good. It must be said that the 7 fairies are really fierce. At this time, Yi Feng, who had just woken up from a beautiful dream, also sat up from the fairy crystal bed with a sly smile. When he stretched and opened his eyes, he was horrified to find that Zhu Yang's whole family had gathered in front of his bed, and everyone was staring at him with excitement. Why are you all standing here watching me sleep instead of going out to catch people? After coming to his senses, Yi Feng looked at everyone and asked. Young Master Yi. All caught. Hearing Yi Feng's question, Zhu Yang also hurriedly explained. All caught? All caught in one night? Did you open your eyes to catch people so quickly? After learning about this situation, Yi Feng was also shocked. You know, it may be easier to catch people in the front because there are many people, but as the number of people decreases, the difficulty of arresting people increases exponentially. Young Master Yi. Last night, these people were crazy about catching people. I feel that you still underestimated the attraction of the golden-horned black pig eggs to them. At this time, the voice of the 8-winged golden-eyed mad lion suddenly rang from Yi Feng's mind. It's terrible. This is simply crazy for the eggs. Hearing the reminder of the 8-winged golden-eyed mad lion, Yi Feng couldn't help but exclaim in his heart. A moment later. Zhu Yang, if you capture 1,936 people, I will reward you with 1,936 golden-horned black pig eggs. Madam, if you capture 2,035 people, I will reward you with 2,035 golden-horned black pig eggs. Fang Feng, if you capture 2,287 people, I will reward you with 2,287 golden-horned black pig eggs. Hearing Yi Feng's words, and watching Yi Feng hand over the fairy rings to the excited people, Zhu Jingtian was stunned. There are rewards for catching people? And the reward is a golden-horned black pig egg? Isn't that thing extinct long ago? Thinking of this, Zhu Jingtian also snatched the fairy ring from Zhu Yang's hand with disbelief, and then directly released his spiritual sense to check the situation inside the fairy ring. Fuck. It's really a golden-horned black pig egg. Is there a reward for catching people and this kind of extinct fairy beast egg? When Zhu Jingtian saw the densely packed golden giant eggs in the fairy ring, the whole person was stunned on the spot. He no longer thought about why Yifeng had so many golden-horned black pig eggs. He just wanted to know why others had them, but he didn't. Young Master Yi. Me, where is mine? Ignoring the fairy ring, snatched back by Zhu Yang, Zhu Jingtian also looked at Yifeng expectantly and asked. Master Zhu. Zhu Yang asked you before, saying that you can ask for some benefits before participating in this catching game. In the end, didn't you say you didn't need it? Hearing Zhu Jingtian's question, Yifeng also explained with a smile. Hearing this, Zhu Jingtian was stunned. When he came to his senses, he finally understood why Zhu Yang asked that question in the beginning. Finally, he understood why everyone was so crazy about catching people. If he had known that catching one person would give him an extinct golden-horned black pig egg, how could he refuse such a benefit? What made him even more upset was that no one, whether it was the sect servant, his son or his 9 wives, had mentioned such a big thing to him. They were all busy earning golden eggs. He was the only one who was in trouble. Master Zhu. Since the mini-game is over, it's time for me to leave. By the way, I'll take this servant of your sect with me. After saying that, Yifeng took the 8-winged golden-eyed crazy lion and Fang Feng and walked out of the sect hall. Hearing Yifeng's words and looking at the servant who left with him, Zhu Jingtian always felt that something was wrong. Then he looked at Yifeng with a puzzled look and asked, Young Master Yi, it's definitely okay for you to take this sect servant away, but before you leave, can you tell me why you want to take him away? Boom. As Zhu Jingtian finished speaking, a suffocating spiritual pressure instantly enveloped the entire sect hall. Although this terrifying spiritual pressure was fleeting, whether it was Zhu Jingtian, Zhu Yang or the other 9 ladies, their eyes were filled with endless fear when they looked at Fang Feng again. Because he is an ancient strong man. Once he grows up, he will definitely be invincible in this era. So, I'm going to take him back to the Holy Land to watch the gate. At this time, Yifeng's voice also rang out. Didn't get the egg. The reborn ancient strongman was also taken away? Looking at Yifeng, Fang Feng and the 8-winged golden-eyed mad lion walking out of the hall, Zhu Jingtian suddenly felt that the blow of this day was indeed a bit too cruel to him. Chapter 507 Is the threshold for watching the gate so high? On the other side. Fang Feng. If I provide you with enough training resources, how long will it take you to recover to your peak state? After leaving Jinxing sect, Yifeng also looked at Fang Feng and asked. Young Master Yi. I have a unique cultivation method. Besides, there is no problem with my soul. The only problem is to improve this body so that it can withstand my terrifying soul. So, as long as there are enough cultivation resources and natural treasures, I can definitely recover to my peak state in a very short time. However, the demand will probably be very large, and most of them must be top-level cultivation resources and natural treasures. Hearing Yifeng's question, Fang Feng also answered in detail. The demand is very large? How large can it be? Hearing Fang Feng's words, Yifeng also thought to himself, I don't know if the rare and legendary immortal herbs consumed by the alchemy apprentices in the Holy Land in the past few days are enough for him to recover his strength. This time, I won't use the designated space portal. System, let Shatue come out and open a space channel for us to return to the Holy Land directly. Thinking of this, Yifeng also spoke directly to the system. Yi Xiaojiao, my lord, when can I go out for some fresh air? I'm almost being played to death by them. So scary. The man holding two 3-meter-high iron hammers has a terrifying aura. I feel that even if my strength is at its peak, I am like an ant in his eyes. Looking at Yi Xiaochui, who disappeared in the space crack, Fang Feng's eyes were full of fear. No way. You're so scared to see the friendly iron hammer. If you see that one-armed madman, you'll be scared to death. Seeing Fang Feng's frightened face, the 8-winged golden-eyed mad lion on the side also curled his lips and muttered to himself with disdain. Elder Yi. You've brought someone back again. At this time, Elder Jade Ghost also walked out of the maze formation, and then shouted to Yi Feng with a smile on his face. Elder Jade Ghost. This man is called Fang Feng, and I brought him back to guard the gate. Let him follow you in the future. Seeing Elder Jade Ghost coming, Yi Feng also said with a smile. Elder Yi, is he also an ancient fairy beast? After hearing Yi Feng's words, Elder Yu Gui also looked at Fang Feng with surprise. In his opinion, since Yi Feng had brought back 3 ancient fairy beasts as pets to guard the gate before, the one he brought back to guard the gate would definitely not be lower than that standard. I am also an ancient fairy beast? Why, is the threshold for guarding the gate so high now? Fang Feng, who heard this, also had a flash of surprise in his eyes. Elder Yu Gui. He is not an ancient fairy beast, but an ancient soul cultivator who was reborn by borrowing a body. Once he recovers his strength, he will be much more powerful than those ancient fairy beasts. At this time, Yi Feng also smiled and explained to Elder Yu Gui. Ancient soul cultivator? Hearing this, Elder Yu Gui's face changed, and then he quickly pulled Yi Feng aside, and asked with a hint of excitement, Elder Yi, are the people you bring back to guard the gate in the future all strong men or fairy beasts of this level? Hee. Elder Yu Gui, you are right. And, I will hand them over to you to manage in the future. Looking at the slightly excited Elder Yu Gui, Yi Feng also gave a positive answer. Hearing Yi Feng's words, Elder Jade Ghost's breathing became rapid, and he was even more excited, thinking in his heart, isn't this completely standing up? Those old guys still said that I have no future in guarding the gate. What does this mean? Okay. Elder Jade Ghost, I'll leave Fang Feng to you. Then I have other things to do, so I won't go back to the Holy Land. After saying that, Yi Feng took out 2 designated space portals and walked towards the 8-winged golden-eyed mad lion not far away. Fuck. No way. Now that you're back, shouldn't you change a beast? Are you taking me away again? Seeing Yi Feng walking towards him with a palm-sized designated space portal, the 8-winged golden-eyed mad lion also showed a bitter smile. Although it got a lot of golden-horned black pig eggs on this trip with Yi Feng, it also wanted to rest in the Holy Land. After all, there are many good things in the Holy Land. A moment later. Elder Jade Ghost. I hope you can take care of me in the future. After entering the maze, Fang Feng also spoke to Elder Jade Ghost with a respectful look on his face. He knew very well that he would be his boss in the future. Don't worry. As long as you do your job well in the future, I won't make things difficult for you. Hearing Fang Feng's words, Elder Jade Ghost also said proudly. By the way, Elder Jade Ghost, I am currently in the stage of recovering my strength, so I may need more cultivation resources and natural treasures. Then, young master, Yi asked me to ask you for it. At this moment, Fang Feng suddenly thought of something, and looked directly at Elder Yu Gui and reminded him, fearing that he might scare him when he asked for it later. Huh? Ask me? No need to ask me. If you need anything, just look for it in the Holy Land, and take whatever you need, it doesn't matter. Hearing this, Elder Yu Gui was stunned at first, and then responded with a nonchalant look. Look for it directly in the Holy Land? And take it casually? What's going on? Is it that the Holy Land is full of cultivation resources and natural treasures? Hearing Elder Yugui's words, Fong Fong also revealed a look of confusion. Fuck. There are really treasures everywhere. When Fong Fong walked out of the maze formation and found that the entire Holy Land was full of rare cultivation resources and natural treasures, he also exclaimed with his eyes wide open. What is that? What are they doing? Just then, Fong Fong suddenly found dozens of alchemy apprentices wearing alchemy robes, picking various rare and legendary immortal herbs in an extremely rough way on the roadside, which made him look at Elder Yugue with an unbelievable look and ask. You know, the several legendary immortal herbs in there are what he needs, and those legendary immortal herbs are extremely precious cultivation resources even in ancient times. What are you doing? They are all apprentices of alchemy in the Holy Land. Of course, they picked them and took them back to practice. Hearing Fong Feng's question, Elder Yugue also explained very casually. Chapter 508 The Terrifying Killer Weapon, the Bloodthirsty Soul-Breaking Arrow. What? They are all apprentices of alchemy? And they have to practice with such rare legendary fairy grass? Hearing Elder Yugue's explanation, Fong Fong couldn't believe his ears. Even the overlord-level forces in the ancient times were not so arrogant. Xiao Fong. Don't make such a fuss. Who is Elder Yi? He's a spendthrift. So, if you want to follow Elder Yi, you must know how to spendthrift. I either take a bath or soak my feet with those broken grasses every day, or I make a flower basket to burn for fun. According to Elder Ye's idea, if we don't spendthrift, it would be a crime to keep these things. Seeing Fong Feng's big reaction, Elder Yugue also curled his lips and said aloud, and at the same time thought in his heart, an ancient strongman, just this? Elder Yugue. Who is this guy, is he new? At this moment, the little leopard and the little eagle also came over from not far away, and then looked at Fong Fong with curiosity. After all, Fong Fong did not release the terrifying soul, and they could not detect the other party's true identity. Fuck. The swift red thunder leopard and the black-bladed white jade eagle? There are actually two ancient fairy beasts here, and it seems that they are also guarding the gate. When Fong Fong sensed the breath of the little leopard and the little eagle, a trace of horror appeared in his eyes. He finally understood why Elder Yugue asked him if he was an ancient fairy beast when he was outside. He really didn't expect that it was not easy for ordinary people to be a gatekeeper in this holy land. The threshold was really high. The third fairyland, Chiwu City. Going around in circles. I'm back again. After returning to Chiwu City through the designated space portal, the eight-winged golden-eyed mad lion also muttered to himself with a bitter smile. At this time, Yifeng was checking the wasteful products for fresh today. Today's prodigal product, Bloodthirsty Soul-Breaking Arrow *100000000 1 million, Bloodthirsty Soul-Breaking Arrow, made of more than 100 kinds of extremely rare special immortal minerals. It can ignore the immortal power barrier and any defensive immortal weapon. Within 5 breaths, the blood and soul of the person shot by the arrow will be completely annihilated. Even the weakest cultivator of the first level of the immortal realm can easily kill the peak strongman of the 9th level of the immortal realm with this arrow. Fuck. The prodigal product refreshed today is really a little bit powerful. When Yifeng checked the situation of today's prodigal product, a look of surprise appeared on his face. Xiao Bazi. Have you ever heard of the bloodthirsty soul-breaking arrow? After recovering from his shock, Yifeng also took out a bloodthirsty soul-breaking arrow from the system space, and then asked the eight-winged golden-eyed mad lion beside him. Swish. However, the eight-winged golden-eyed mad lion quickly stepped back a few steps at this time, and his eyes were filled with endless fear when he looked at the bloodthirsty soul-breaking arrow in Yifeng's hand. What Yifeng couldn't see was that at this time, the hairs on the eight-winged golden-eyed mad lion's body stood up because of fear. Young Master Yi. Although I have never heard of the bloodthirsty soul-breaking arrow, I can guarantee that the arrow in your hand can definitely wipe me out easily, even destroy my soul. After trying hard to suppress the fear in his heart, the eight-winged golden-eyed mad lion also said to Yi Feng with a solemn expression. Too damn scary. How come Master Yi has everything in his hand? I am an ancient fairy beast whose strength has not been compromised at all, but now it seems that I am not as intimidating as that arrow. At the same time, the eight-winged golden-eyed mad lion was also extremely frightened and thought to himself. Can you sense the terrifying aura on this arrow? Why can't I sense anything? I just feel that it is a very ordinary arrow. Seeing that the eight-winged golden-eyed mad lion had such a big reaction, Yi Feng also asked, curiously. Master Yi. Although this arrow does not emit any terrifying aura, any strong man facing it will feel an indescribable sense of crisis at the first moment. Hearing Yi Feng's question, the eight-winged golden-eyed mad lion also explained. The unique sense of danger of the strong? Hearing the words of the eight-winged golden-eyed mad lion, Yi Feng also showed a touch of surprise. Wait. At this moment, the eight-winged golden-eyed mad lion on the side seemed to have thought of something, and looked at Yi Feng with some uneasiness and asked, Young Master Yi, such a powerful weapon, you are not going to use it to ruin your family, right? Little 8. Should I say it or not, you have followed me for so long, and your brain has finally opened up. Tell me, how should this thing ruin your family? Hearing the words of the eight-winged golden-eyed mad lion, Yi Feng also asked with a smile. Master. I miss you so much. At this moment, a familiar voice suddenly sounded from a distance. Old Bai? Hearing this familiar voice, Yi Feng turned around with surprise. When he saw Bai Tianhong running towards him quickly not far away, a smile appeared on his face. He didn't expect to meet him here. I knew it. Young Master Yi always ran to Chiwu City, there must be some old friends of his here. However, this old man doesn't look like a beggar by the way he's dressed. And he carries a longbow on his back and a long sword in his hand. What does that mean? Two swords, arrows, combined into one, the more despicable, the more awesome? The eight-winged golden-eyed mad lion on the side saw the old man running over, and his face showed a puzzled look. Master. How could you? When he came to Yi Feng, before Bai Tianhong could say anything, his face suddenly changed, and his eyes looked directly at the bloodthirsty soul-breaking arrow in Yi Feng's hand. As an arrow cultivator, he also comprehended the terrifying soul-destroying arrow, so he could clearly feel that the arrow was definitely not an ordinary arrow. Old Bai. I didn't expect to meet you here. Seeing Bai Tianhong's eyes fall on the bloodthirsty soul-breaking arrow in his hand, Yi Feng also smiled and greeted him. Master. I have been busy squandering money, and I just happened to come to Chiwu City today. I didn't expect to meet you. At this point, Bai Tianhong also revealed a serious look and continued, Master, what is this arrow in your hand? Bloodthirsty soul-breaking arrow. Even a small cultivator in the human fairyland can easily shoot and kill a peak 9th level strongman in the fairyland with this arrow. Hearing Bai Tianhong's question, Yi Feng also gave a simple explanation. Chapter 509, In order to squander money, have you no bottom line? What? This arrow is so terrifying. Hearing Yi Feng's explanation, Bai Tianhong also revealed a touch of shock. Although he felt that this bloodthirsty soul-breaking arrow was definitely not an ordinary thing, he never thought that it would be so terrifying. Wait. At this moment, Bai Tianhong suddenly thought of one thing, that is, he is an arrow cultivator, so this terrifying bloodthirsty soul-breaking arrow is not prepared for him. It's really better to come early than to come at the right time. Since I have met it, the master will definitely give me this bloodthirsty soul-breaking arrow. Although I am already a prodigal disciple, and now I have the habit of prodigal, but I can't bear to spend this arrow. At this time, Bai Tianhong also lowered his head and pondered. It's better to come at the right time than to come early. I was just worrying about how to spend these 1 million bloodthirsty soul-breaking arrows, and I just happened to meet Old Bai. Although he is a sword cultivator, he is also an arrow cultivator. If he gives these 1 million bloodthirsty soul-breaking arrows to him, it will take only a few minutes to defeat him. On the other side, Yifeng was also looking at Old Bai in front of him, and he had an idea of how to deal with these 1 million arrows. What are you doing? What are you two standing there and grinning? Looking at the two people standing there and grinning, the 8-winged golden-eyed mad lion on the side was also confused. Old Bai. I just happened to meet you, so I'll give these bloodthirsty soul-breaking arrows to you. Soon, Yifeng looked at Bai Tianhong and spoke first. Here, here, here. The peerless arrow that dominates the upper world is coming with an arrogant step. Hearing Yifeng's words, Bai Tianhong also showed a touch of excitement, and then hurriedly said, Master, then I will obey your order and take this bloodthirsty soul-breaking arrow. What do you mean by taking this bloodthirsty soul-breaking arrow? Hearing Bai Tianhong's words, Yifeng was stunned at first, and then explained, I am not going to give you one, but I am going to give you 1 million bloodthirsty soul-breaking arrows. Not one? 1 million? Such a terrifying killing weapon, and it is also mass-produced? Hearing Yifeng's words, both Bai Tianhong and the 8-winged golden-eyed mad lion were scared. They thought that such a terrifying invincible arrow would be difficult to accept if there was only one. After all, this was a terrifying arrow that could kill a peak strongman in the 9th level of the immortal tribulation realm in seconds. Who would have thought that Yifeng would ask for 1 million? Too scary. Young master, ye is a devil. Let alone this era, even in the ancient times when the concentration of immortal energy was extremely high, I'm afraid that the entire upper world can't find 1 million ancient strongmen or ancient immortal beasts with the strength of the 9th level of the immortal realm. And now he can actually take out 1 million such terrifying arrows. If he hired 10,000 people at random, he might be able to sweep away all the overlord-level forces. Thinking that Yifeng's 1 million terrifying arrows were enough to change the stable pattern of the ancient times or this era, the 8-winged golden-eyed mad lion also showed a trace of fear in his eyes. It's over. 1 or 2 arrows, I can still keep them privately. You gave me 1 million arrows at once, so you must be using them to ruin your family. At this time, Bai Tianhong also showed a look of collapse. After all, he knew Yifeng too well, and thinking about wasting 1 million invincible arrows, even though he was already a disciple of the loser, he still felt extremely distressed. He even regretted meeting Yifeng. He never thought that after becoming a disciple of the loser, he would suffer the kind of psychological and spiritual double torture he had experienced in the lower world. If he had changed to some ordinary arrows, he would not be so uncomfortable. Old Bai. These 1 million bloodthirsty soul-breaking arrows have been given to you. You should know how to deal with them. At this time, Yifeng also looked at Bai Tianhong with a smile on his face and asked. Ha ha ha. Master, of course I know. After all, I am one of the first people to follow you. Don't worry, I will definitely defeat you clearly with these 1 million bloodthirsty soul-breaking arrows. Hearing Yifeng's question, Bai Tianhong also responded calmly, but his heart was already hurting. This is archery to lose money, this is shooting his heart. Master. I seem to have passed by a hunting ground just now. There must be a lot of garbage fairy beasts in the 1st level of the human fairy realm. Why not? I will use this broken arrow to shoot the garbage fairy beasts crazily, just as a way to practice my archery. After trying to calm himself down, Bai Tianhong also looked at Yifeng and expressed his thoughts. Archery practice? Shooting garbage fairy beasts with garbage arrows? This is simply too perfect. After hearing Bai Tianhong's proposal, Yifeng's eyes lit up and he exclaimed in his heart, Bai Lao's ability to spend money is getting stronger and stronger. It is indeed the most correct way to give him these 1 million garbage arrows. Crazy. These two people are crazy. Using terrifying arrows that can shoot and kill the peak powerhouses of the 9th level of the immortal tribulation realm, to shoot the garbage fairy beasts of the 1st level of the human fairy realm, and call it archery practice, this is really for the sake of spending money without any bottom line. The 8-winged golden-eyed mad lion on the side also showed an extremely shocked expression after hearing Bai Tianhong's crazy idea. After a moment, when the 2 people and 1 beast arrived at the Feng Tian hunting ground, the 8-winged golden-eyed mad lion also walked directly to the front desk, preparing to open a hunting room dedicated to hunting the lowest level fairy beasts. Grandpa! Look, there seems to be an archer over there. At this time, an old man and a girl in a red skirt also walked into the hunting ground hall from outside, and then the girl in the red skirt pointed at Bai Tianhong, who was carrying a longbow, and said to the old man beside him, "Oh." After hearing this, Gao Hong also looked at Bai Tianhong, but when he realized that the other party was only at the 5th level of the earthly immortal realm, a hint of disappointment flashed in his eyes. After all, he was a powerful archer at the 7th level of the immortal tribulation realm, and he had no interest in such a low-level archer. Grandpa! I haven't seen you shoot an arrow for a long time. However, you can compete with him. No matter what level of immortal beast he is going to hunt, no matter how many he hunts, as long as he can beat you, you will waive all his expenses. How about it? Finding that Gao Hong didn't seem to be interested in the archer, the girl in the red skirt thought about it and also proposed an interesting idea. Xiaoye, aren't you letting Grandpa bully people? However, if you want to see Grandpa shoot arrows so much, then it's not impossible to compete with the other party and give him some pointers. After hearing the words of the girl in the red skirt, Gao Hong also doted on the girl's head, which was considered to be in agreement with this proposal. Chapter 510. Gao Hong was stunned. Are you serious? On the other side, Master Yi, the hunting room number 12 is already open. This Feng Tian hunting ground seems to be very powerful. Even if we need to shoot and kill 1 million fairy beasts of the 1st level of human fairyland, they have sufficient supply, so there is no need to worry. When the 8-winged golden-eyed mad lion opened the hunting room, it also came to Yi Feng and said respectfully, "Okay. Then let's hurry to the hunting room. After all, 1 million arrows, even if used crazily, will take a lot of time." After hearing the words of the 8-winged golden-eyed mad lion, Yi Feng nodded, and then prepared to go to the hunting room number 12. Everyone! I am the person in charge of this hunting field. Because I am also an archer, so I want to compete with this fellow archer in the hunting room. If he can beat me, then I will give you all the expenses this time. I wonder if you are interested in this proposal? Of course, if you don't agree, I won't bother you anymore, and I will give you a 20% discount on all the expenses in the future. At this time, Gao Hong and the girl in the red skirt also blocked the way of Yi Feng, Bai Tianhong and others, and then smiled and said that he wanted to compete in archery. Is this old man a tiger? Is he making trouble for himself? After hearing Gao Hong's words, Bai Tianhong was stunned for a moment, and then he looked at Yi Feng with excitement, hoping that Yi Feng would agree to the other party. In that case, not only would there be one more free laborer, but also thinking that the other party would be extremely painful at that time, Bai Tianhong's mood inexplicably improved. Okay. However, I have a small request. That is, the arrows needed to shoot the fairy beasts must be the arrows we brought. Also, I will give you a little hard work fee later, and you can't refuse it then. After thinking for a moment, Yi Feng agreed directly. After all, it's better to have a laborer for free, and he can get another wave of wasteful behavior rewards for free later. He will definitely not refuse such a good thing of killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Just a competition of archery? And you have to pay me hard work fee in the end? What did I do to deserve hard work fee? After hearing Yi Feng's words, Gao Hong also showed a bit of confusion. He couldn't guess what Yi Feng was thinking. The girl in a red skirt beside him also blinked her big eyes at this time, and looked at Yi Feng with extremely curious eyes, because she didn't understand why the other party made such a strange request. After a moment, when everyone walked into the hunting room number 12, there was a flash of energy fluctuations, and then everyone appeared in a hunting space the size of 10 football fields. Young Master Yi. A special formation has been set up here, forming an independent small space. At this time, the 8-winged golden-eyed mad lion also lowered his voice to remind Yi Feng, who was standing beside him. So that's why I felt a strange energy fluctuation just now. Hearing what the 8-winged golden-eyed mad lion said, Yi Feng nodded secretly and said nothing more. Soon, a large group of fairy beasts of the first level of cultivation in the fairyland appeared in the distance, with at least 1,000 of them. Brother Bai. The fairy beasts have appeared. You can take out the arrows. Let's use the same number of arrows to see who can kill the most fairy beasts in the end. At this time, Gao Hong also said to Bai Tianhong with a smile on his face. The arrows are all here. I will give you 1,000 arrows each first, and I will replenish them immediately when they are used up. In this way, you can ensure that each of you uses the same number of arrows. At this time, the voice of the 8-winged golden-eyed mad lion sounded from the side, and then he took out 2,000 arrows from the fairy ring containing 1,000,000 bloodthirsty soul-breaking arrows, and placed them next to the two of them. Stare. However, when Gao Hong sensed the inexplicable sense of crisis brought by the bloodthirsty soul-breaking arrow taken out by the 8-winged golden-eyed mad lion, his eyes instantly widened, and his eyes were filled with endless fear. Wait a minute. What kind of arrow is this? After recovering from his shock, Gao Hong also looked at Yi Feng with fear and asked. Bloodthirsty soul-breaking arrow. Each bloodthirsty soul-breaking arrow can easily kill a peak 9th level powerhouse or fairy beast in the immortal tribulation realm. Ignore fairy power, ignore any defensive fairy weapon, unless you can dodge, otherwise, once you are shot, you will die within 5 breaths. Hearing Gao Hong's question, Yi Feng also explained calmly. The terrifying arrows that are enough to kill the peak 9th level powerhouses in the immortal tribulation realm, but you use them to shoot the garbage fairy beasts of the first level of the human immortal realm? Are you crazy? After hearing Yi Feng's explanation, Gao Hong couldn't believe his ears. It is no exaggeration to say that the 2,000 bloodthirsty soul-breaking arrows in front of him can kill him 2,000 times. He never thought that he had a powerful cultivation base of the 7th level of the immortal tribulation realm, but at this moment, he seemed so weak. What? Boss Gao, you don't believe it? Then I wonder if your hunting ground has any immortal beasts with the 9th level of the immortal tribulation realm? Let's try it first. Seeing Gao Hong's unbelievable look, Yi Feng also smiled and expressed his thoughts. Try it? Hearing Yi Feng's words, Gao Hong also fell into deep thought. To be honest, although he realized that this arrow was extremely terrifying, he was also a little skeptical about whether it could shoot and kill a 9th level of the immortal tribulation realm or an immortal beast at will. Young Master Yi. We have it in our hunting ground, but that terrifying beast with the strength of the 9th level of the immortal tribulation realm is in a sealed state. Once it is released, even I may not be able to suppress it, so forget it. After pondering for a long time, Gao Hong gave up the idea of trying. Not to mention that he could not control the sealed beast of the 9th level of the immortal tribulation realm. Even if he could control it, he would not dare to use it easily, because it was a terrifying beast from a dominant force, and it was only temporarily placed in their hunting ground. Boss Gao. That's easy. If you can't suppress it, let my men suppress it. As he said that, Yi Feng directly said to the 8-winged golden-eyed mad lion on the side, Little 8, you have already felt the breath of that beast, just go and catch it. Young Master Yi. I'll go now. Hearing Yifeng's order, the eight-winged golden-eyed mad lion also turned and walked towards the exit of the hunting room. What are you doing? What are you doing? I'm just talking, are you serious? Seeing the eight-winged golden-eyed mad lion leaving, Gao Hong on the side was completely stunned. He didn't detect the aura of the peak of the 9th level of the immortal tribulation realm on the other party. Moreover, even if they are in the same realm, they may not be the opponent of the sealed terrifying fairy beast.